Welcome everyone. Today we have the company of teacher Grisel Peñalosa. She has a touristic business administration degree who has been working as a teacher since 11 years ago and who will also be speaking about essays, its structure and the parts of it. Good evening, teacher Grisel. It's a pleasure to have you with us at this meeting.
Good evening. Hi, Vero. Hi, Abby. It's a pleasure for me to be in this interview or this talk, as we can say. How are you?
Hi, teacher.
Fine.
Don't be nervous. We're going to do this. Okay.
Yes. Good vibes only.
Well, the reason for this interview is to ask you about what's an essay, its types, the process that a person should follow to prepare it, as well as the benefits that knowledge of these characteristics has in the work of students and professors. Are you ready to start, teacher?
Shoot. Let's go.
Okay.
Well, teacher, I have the first question for you. Can you tell us what is a essay is?
Okay. The essay is a type of prose text that explores, analyzes, and interprets or evaluates a topic. It is considered a literary genre with the didactic gender.
Okay. Could you tell us what are the functions of an essay?
The functions of an essay is to capture the reader to read something that you have wrote and think about what you have to say about it.
Okay.
That's good. Then, what kind of essays do you know, teacher?
Well, we have the literally, the literary, the scientific, and philosophic. Well, let me see, the academic, and there are many more, but those come to my mind.
Well, what is an argumentative essay, and what's the difference do you find with other types of essay?
Well, an argumentary essay is a free topic text whose objective is to convince or persuade the reader, as I said in the beginning. It all has to be to persuade the reader to think about your idea. Its purpose is to incite the reader an inclination towards the author's opinion. Okay? And what's the difference? Well, I think that they couldn't be that much difference because all the essays have to be attached or have to have the focus or the importance of the author, and your conclusion and your opinion has to be the most important thing because it means that you have learned something about it and you know something about the topic.
Okay.
Okay.
From your point of view, what do you think is the best way to do an essay?
Well, if we're talking about uh, how do we have to write an essay, I will have to say that we can use, there are a lot of apps right now that you can download and they can structure you the best essay that you can have, but you really have to learn what does the essay has to have, okay? For example, you can work in Word and there you can put quotes and it gives you the space and it gives you the information and it goes to the bottom of the page to put the information the found from you've got the quote. So I think it's the one that you think you can use and is better for you. It's the one that you have to learn to use it and to adapt everything to get the best essay that you can have.
Okay.
Well, teacher. The next one. Could you explain to us what is the process we must follow to make an essay?
Okay, well, first of all, you have to think about the topic. And now that you have the topic, you have to find out about what title you're going to give to the topic. We can't give the same title of each essay that we have read because it would be stealing information, stealing the topic and what it's about. We have to have the title, we have to have an introduction, what are we going to talk about? Then we're going to have a body. In the body, you're going to put information about the topic, and you have to quote the who are you reading or who are you taking that information to your essay. Then you have to give a conclusion. The conclusion is more about your words. It's not about copying and pasting. It's more about what you think about what you have read and you have put in the body, and you always have to put the references.
Oh, well, I got it.
Could you tell us what is the usefulness of the essays in the lives of the students?
That's a tricky one because I know as a student, because I have been a student, it's like another essay for what? What is it good for? But it gives us the opportunity to read, to investigate, and first of all, to make us think and give our opinion in a good way. How to express ourselves is something that the essays help you to do, because it's not the same that you start like, oh, see, and then and so and everything. Like when you practice writing an essay, you can practice the speaking too. So it goes to both ways. I think it's important. You have to practice. I think it's necessary because it's everything about the practice and the formal or informal way that we have to or we want to speak.
And then teacher, you consider is a useful way for teachers?
It is a useful way as a teacher speaking to use this resource, the essay, to make students, like I said in the other question, do a reflection about what they're reading and what is that they want to give as an opinion. I think that students have to be honest to write, not just to copy and paste. We have a lot of information on the web. We have Wikipedia, El Rincón del Vago, and everything, but we do know when you're using that sources because we know our students, and we are always going to ask you to do an essay because we want to know what's in your mind. I think it's the best way to know what is in the mind of my student.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, teacher, I have one last question for you. Uh, can you give us an advice what do we have to do or consider to turn in essay and not a report?
That's a good question because you think you do an essay and sometimes you're just doing a report or sometimes you're just doing a writing. You have to follow the steps that I mentioned, the title, the introduction, the body, when you're quoting, the references, and the conclusion, because that makes, that's how we know it's an essay. Because if you don't put that and we check it, we can say that you are stealing that information. I don't know, I forgot the legal form of the act, but it's like I'm gonna remember. It's not honest an honest way to do the reports. It's like if you do something and then Vero copies it and she takes all the credit like if it was hers. That's not fair. You always have to do an essay, and you always have to respect authors and all the founds that you, the resources that you found, put them there, so it would be a real essay for me as a teacher. If not, it's just a writing or a report, or do a writing 200 words, and that would be it.
I'm sorry, I'm taking notes.
Don't worry.
The next question. What are the most used words in an essay?
The most used words in an essay, I would have to say that it's next, then, let me think. In my opinion,
Yes.
like we always have, in my opinion, I think, in my opinion, I suggest, let's see, finally. But the word that students repeat the most is then. Then. So I would give an advice to all the students to structure the essay in a better way, that they don't repeat the words. Like in Spanish, it's the same.
Okay. Then teacher, then. Do you know how to write an opinion in an essay?
In my opinion, my personal opinion,
No, that opinion, to write an opinion for another person, but in your essay.
oh, okay. It's like when you're quoting someone.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. That's when you quote someone, you're going to put it in the quote. You're going to put it, and then you're going to put like a number one in Word. I think it has number one uploaded, and then it comes down, and you paste the source where you got the information. That's the best way to not take credit of it, but give the credit that it needs to be given.
And it's simple.
And it's simple. Yeah, it's really easy in Word. Oh, there are new apps that really they give you. I wish I had that, but
Yeah. Well, that's my last question. I don't have no more.
okay. And you, Abby, do you have another question?
No, teacher.
Okay, then I'm gonna give you a question. Okay,
Okay.
let me see.
A little test.
Just a little one. The most important thing. What are the parts of an essay?
The first part is the title. That is the we will return to the say is the name of the topic that we are studying.
Okay.
Next, it's the introduction. It's like a little review of the topic on of the body of the essay, but like a review.
Okay.
The body of the say includes the quote and the explanation of the topic that we are studying to.
Okay.
And the last one is the conclusion, and it's like wrapping all the information with my opinion or like other opinion and capture the reader to, but yes, read or essay.
Okay.
That's right.
Yes, you're missing just one thing, an important thing about
The
The references.
the references. Yes, don't forget, at the end you have to put the references, or at the bottom of the page you have to put the references. Okay. And introduction, what is the reader going to read about? Okay.
Okay.
And that's where you have
The
to capture
purpose.
The purpose, exactly. The purpose of the essay. Okay? That's where you capture all the readers.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Okay, you have a 10.
Yay!
To conclude, teacher, the interview, we would like to thank you for supporting us in the dynamic and the information that you have given us that will shortly be very useful in our journey as students. It has been a pleasure. Thank you, teacher.
It's been a
Thank
pleasure
you.
for me too. Thank you for considering me, and don't take all the homework like, oh, for what? They have a purpose. Right now, maybe you can't see it, but you're going to the next level. And the next level, it's difficult, it is, but only the ones that want to are going to end it. And I know you will. It was a pleasure meeting you, Abby. Vero, it was nice seeing you. And thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you so much.